now we can alert text value. Okay, so we're just using get element ID and then we're putting value on the end. So let's just test if that works. Let's refresh. We'll type in test, click submit, and it's not working. So let's go back and see what we might be doing wrong. Perhaps if we change the value of this, so I could say insert text, say insert text.value, let's refresh that, type in test, click submit, no, nothing. Okay, let's try var, and let's try and refresh, test, submit, no. Oh, I think I can see the problem. We need to change this to ID as opposed to name because we're getting element by ID. So let's change this back to text just to keep things simple. We can also change that back to text there, and we can remove that. We don't need to declare it as a variable. So let's try and refresh and see if this works. Hopefully it does, then we can proceed with our code. No, it hasn't. So let's just go back to how we were. So ID insert text and insert text. Okay, so let's come and refresh, test, no. Okay, well I can see the problem. I need document.getElement by ID, obviously. So now this is fixed. Let's go and preview this in our browser. So I'm going to type test in here, click on submit, and nothing's working. This is annoying. Insert text. Let's change this back to name because I think that might be the problem now. Let's refresh. Test. No. So document.getElementID.value, insert text. Name. Get rid of that. And let's change, let's see if that works. Nope. Okay, so maybe this to ID. Let's refresh, and A or W or something. Okay, so right, I wish I was better at JavaScript, but I'm really not, so please forgive me for that. Okay, so there's probably lots of you screaming at the screen at that point, telling me what I was doing wrong. So now we've tested our value. We know how to get our value. Eventually, we've got this element by ID insert text. I'm actually going to change this back to text now because I'm going to keep things simple for the purposes of the tutorial. So again, whatever we type in here, we just display to the screen in the text box. For now, that's just for testing purposes. So let's get rid of that. After all that hard work, let's get rid of it. Okay, so now let's go into creating our Ajax itself. So the first thing we want to do is we want to say, let's come in here and say if window dot, and we basically need to specify for different types of browsers which method we're going to use to create our XML HTTP variable, or rather what we're going to set it to. So we say if window.xml HTTP request, and then we come down and we do something if that's true. Otherwise we do something if that's false. So what would we do if it's true? Well, we set a variable called XML HTTP equal to a new XML HTTP request. So essentially what we're doing is we're checking for this first inside the window, and then we're creating it if it's true. So that's just for different browser support. Otherwise, we want to say XML HTTP equals new, and we want to create a new ActiveX object. And the parameter that's that we put into here is Microsoft.xml_HTTP. Now bear in mind while I'm writing this code that everything I'm writing is case sensitive. So for example, this XML HTTP request object is in capitals for XML, and then a capital H, small TTP, a capital R, and then the rest of request is small. So ensure that for everything you write inside of here, it's bear in mind that it's case sensitive. So if you end up with it not working, just double check the case next to what I've done.